Hello children, welcome back to our class. Now we are going to see about the living world of plants part 2. So in part 1 we have seen about the unicellular and multicellular organisms and their examples. So now in this session we are going to see about the adaptations in animals. So animals, they vary in size, shape and behavior. A living thing can survive in particular habitat if its body is adapted to the condition of that habitat. So an organism can able to survive in a particular habitat only if they have some modification or adaptation. If we cannot adapt to a situation, we cannot survive there. Are you clear? So plants and animals, they develop some special characteristic features in their body to survive in their habitat. So they need some adaptations to survive in a particular habitat. So that is called as adaptations. Are you clear? Now let us move on to the adaptation of fish. So where do you see fish? Where fish lives? Fish lives only in water. It is an aquatic organism. Fish is an aquatic organism. You know why the fish cannot live on land? It does not have legs. It does not have mouth. So it cannot live, right? So fishes live only in water. Fishes live only in water. So they need some adaptations to live in water, isn't it? See, for example, if we wanted to live inside water, is it possible? No. We need some adaptation, like we need oxygen cylinders, we need flippers, like scuba divers. You have seen scuba divers going deep into the sea, swimming all around. Yeah. So we need some adaptations to live in that particular situation. So fishes, they have some modifications in their body which enable them to live in water. Are you clear? Now let us see what are the different adaptations seen in the fish. So the fish has head, trunk and tail. So it has a head part, the trunk, the middle part and the tail, end part. So this head, trunk and tail of a fish, they merge to form a streamlined shape. Streamlined shape, it helps the fish which enables them to swim easily in water. Are you clear? So this is the first adaptation of the fish. Now second adaptation is they got the gills for respiration. Their respiratory organ is gills. So the gills helps to absorb the oxygen dissolved in the water. So when the water goes inside the gills and it comes out, so the oxygen which enters inside the gills is absorbed by it. Are you clear? So gills is an adaptation which helps to absorb the dissolved oxygen from water. Now third one is, most of the fishes are slippery scales. They have a slippery scales around the body, which helps them to protect their body. So a mode of protection. So the fish's body are covered by scales. What is the function of scales? It protects the body of fish. So it is also an adaptation. Next, the fish has fins for fast swimming. So how does a fish swims fast? It has fins, dorsal fin and a pelvic or pectoral fin. Are you clear? Next is, the fish has a strong tail fin which is present at the last, which we call as caudal fin. So it has a strong tail fin which acts as a rudder to change the direction, and it keeps the body balanced in water. So when suddenly if a fish wanted to change its direction, it is possible only with the help of a strong tail fin. Are you clear? So this is all the adaptations of fish. Now let us move on to the next organism, frog. So frog, where does a frog live? Where do you see a frog? You can see a frog on land as well as on water, isn't it? So what we call that type of adaptation? Amphibians. We call those organisms as amphibians. What are amphibians? Amphibians are dual mode organism. They are dual mode organism. What is a dual mode? So they live in water as well as in the land. So they are poikilothermic. They are poikilothermic. What are poikilothermic animals? They can change their body environment according to the surroundings. So body temperature can be changed according to the environment. Are you clear? So we cannot change our body temperature as we are all warm-blooded animals. Okay, so here the amphibians are poikilothermic animals. They can change their body temperature. So here the body is divided into head, trunk with two pairs of limbs. They have a head part, trunk part and two pairs of limbs. Okay, so the larval stage of the frog respire with the help of gills. So when the frog is in the larva stage, how do they respire? With the help of gills. And the adult frog, they respire through their lungs, skin, buccopharyngeal region. So all these are a special or unique adaptation of the frog. So when a frog is at a larva stage, it respires through gills. When it becomes an adult, how does it respire? It uses its skin, it uses its lungs, it uses its buccopharyngeal region. What is the buccopharyngeal region? It is a mouth part, a lower part of the mouth, buccopharyngeal region. So they respire with all these adaptations. Are you clear, children? So now let us move on. So the next organism is lizard. Lizards are scaly skinned reptiles that are usually distinguished from snake by the possession of lungs, movable eyelids. They have the external ear opening. They mostly inhabit warm regions. Most lizards are quadrupedal. Most lizards are quadrupedal. What is meant by quadrupedal? They walk with four legs. That is, they crawl. We call it as crawlers. And they have the powerful limb. Some lizards are able to run bipedally with two legs. So in this, the tail is held out backward and upward and act as a counterweight. So some lizards, they have the capacity to rotate the head around it. So they have a joint, so they can rotate it. They breathe through lungs. Most lizards, they eat a variety of insects like mosquitoes, cockroach with the help of projections on the tongue adapt for grabbing and holding. So they have a projection which prolongs their tongue, which helps to grab and hold the insects like mosquitoes and cockroaches. Some lizards like Dinosaurus lizard have web in their toe. And few lizards are able to glide or parachute. They can able to fly. Some very few lizards, they can able to parachute the air and make safe landing. Are you clear, children? So now let us move on to the next organism, birds. They have the streamlined body covered with feathers. So, birds' body are covered with feathers. This body shape provides minimum resistance to air. So, they provide minimum resistance towards the air. They have they have a beak. What do you mean by the beak? Which is there, you can see the beak part, the mouth part. Instead of mouth, it is called as beak. They breathe through lungs. They have a lungs for respiration. They have a pair of wings that are modified forelimbs. So, their forelimbs are modified into wings. And what about the bones? The bones are lightweight and they are hollow bones. So, in order to fly easily, the bird should not be too heavy. So, they have a hollow and light bones. Are you clear? Usually we see the birds fly. However, they can also hop, they can move, they can run, etc. So, they perch well on the branches of the trees with the help of their pair of clawed feet. You can see the claws in their feet. So, with the help of that, they can able to grab the branches easily. Are you clear? Now, the tail of the bird helps it to control the direction of the movement. So, the tail of the bird, it helps to change the direction while they are flying. They have a strong chest muscles which helps them to withstand the pressure of the air while flapping their wings during flight. So, they have a strong chest muscles because when they flap, the pressure should not disturb them. So, they have a strong chest muscles. At a time, bird can see only one object with one eye and the other object with other eye. You can see this is some unique feature in birds. So, birds, they have a pair of eyes, isn't it? So, one eye will look into one object, the other eye will look into the other object. So, at a time they can view two objects. Are you clear? Which is called as a binocular vision. Next we will see the adaptation of camel. Where do the camel live? The camels actually live in the hot desert conditions. So, they need some adaptations to survive in that hot desert. So, how does a camel adapt? They have a long legs which helps it to keep the body away from the heat. Okay, and the camel drinks large amount of water whenever it is available. It will drink lot of water and it store it in the body. Are you clear? So, when it goes in search of water, wherever it finds water, it drinks lot of water and stores it within their body. The camel's body is adapted to save water in dry conditions. So, how does it save water? So, a camel passes small amount of urine. So, the urine excretion amount is very less and its dung, the waste is dry and it does not sweat. The animal does not sweat. It does not have any sweat glands. So, since the camel loses very little water from its body, it can live for many days without drinking water. As it drinks and stores water for so many days, so suppose if the water is not available for the animal, it can able to survive for a long day. Are you clear? A camel's hump has fat stored in it. So, you can see the hump which is a projection around that is on the top of their body. On the trunk you can see some projection which is called as a hump. So, it has a fat stored in it. All the fat content will be stored in it. Suppose in case of emergency, energy is required. So, the camel breaks down the starch and it takes its nourishment. Are you clear? Now, they have a large padded feet which helps them to walk easily on the sand. So, that is one of the adaptation to walk easily. So, it has a flat padded feet. Camel has a long eyelashes and hairs to protect its eyes and ears from the blowing dust. You can see in this picture they have a very long eyebrows which helps to protect it from the blowing dust. It keeps its nostril always closed to avoid the dust during the storms. So, sometimes if storms occur, so it will close its nostrils to keep the animal safe. Are you clear? You have any doubt, children? No doubt. So, that's all. We come to the end of the session. Thank you. We will see you in the next class.